當我哋因為各種災難同埋戰亂而需要逃難嘅話，最佳嘅個人逃生交通工具就必定係單輪或者雙輪嘅電動代步車啦。點解呢一啲單輪同埋雙輪電動代步車製造時可以如此細小，卻又能夠高速行駛，並且有咁長嘅持久力呢？因為單輪同埋雙輪車嘅驅動機械部分應用咗無碳刷摩打。呢個係日華牧師早喺10多年前分享免費能源信息時已經提及嘅亞當摩打演變出嚟嘅技術。無碳刷摩打嘅應用喺大家日常生活中非常廣泛，例如 CD-ROM 等光碟機同埋硬碟機、冷氣機以及 CPU 嘅風扇。以往舊式遙控飛機要令佢飛上天空，必須以電油引擎作為動力，但係現今大部分都使用輕巧嘅無碳刷摩打，加上高效能嘅鋰電，先至會製造出重量只有幾克，甚至比一個香港5元硬幣仲輕嘅遙控飛機。日華牧師喺錫安日報嘅個人網址麻麻的飛機世界中就曾多次示範輕巧嘅無碳刷摩打遙控飛機。但係無碳刷摩打嘅原理係點樣嘅呢？
In order to make the operation more reliable, more efficient, and less noisy, the recent trend has been to use brushless DC motors. They are also lighter compared to brushed motors with the same power output. The brushes in conventional DC motors wear out over the time and may cause sparking. Thus, the brushed DC motor should never be used for operations that demand long life and reliability. Let's see how a brushless DC motor works. The rotor of a BLDC motor is a permanent magnet. The stator has a coil arrangement as shown. By applying DC power to the coil will energize and become an electromagnet. The operation of a BLDC is based on the simple force interaction between the permanent magnet and the electromagnet. In this condition, when the coil A is energized, the opposite poles of the rotor and stator are attracted to each other. As the rotor nears coil A, coil B is energized. As the rotor nears coil B, coil C is energized. After that, coil A is energized with the opposite polarity. This process is repeated and the rotor continues to rotate. A humorous analogy to help remember it is to think of the BLDC operation like the story of the donkey and the carrot, where the donkey tries hard to reach the carrot, but the carrot keeps moving out of reach. Even though this motor works, it has one drawback. You can notice that at any instant only one coil is energized. The two dead coils greatly reduce the power output of the motor. Here is the trick to overcome this problem. When the rotor is in this position, along with the first coil, which pulls the rotor, you can energize the coil behind it in such a way that it will push the rotor. For this instant, a same polarity current is passed through the second coil. The combined effect produces more torque and power output from the motor. The combined force also makes sure that a BLDC has a beautiful constant torque nature. With this configuration, two coils need to be energized separately, but by making a small modification to the stator coil, we can simplify this process. Just connect one free end of the coils together. When the power is applied between coils A and B, let's note the current flow through the coils. It's just like the separately energized state. That's how a BLDC works. But you might have some intriguing doubts in your mind. How do I know which stator coils to energize? How do I know when to energize it so that I will get a continuous rotation from the rotor? In a BLDC, we use an electronic controller for this purpose. A sensor determines the position of the rotor, and based on this information, the controller decides which coils to energize. Most often, a Hall effect sensor is used for this purpose. The BLDC design we have discussed so far is known as the outrunner type. In-runner BLDC design is also available in the market.